All right, it's day 2 of the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas, and our coverage continues now with Pras Subramanian joining us with some very cool sustainable news from the boating world. Hey, Pras.
Hey, Dave. Thanks so much. Brunswick, the world's largest recreational marine company behind brands like Boston Whaler, Sea Ray, and Mercury, is making waves at CES this year. Joining me now to discuss is CEO Dave Foulkes, live from Las Vegas. So, Dave, let's talk about what you have the floor there. Unveiling a new line of electric outboard motors. What can you tell us about them?
Yeah, we are very famous for the Mercury Marine brand of outboard engines, conventional outboard engines. And we've announced that Mercury is extending its outboard product line into the electric range. So these are relatively smaller horsepower engines, but there'll be a full line that will gradually get more and more powerful as the technology evolves. So they're really meant for somewhat smaller boats, but they're a beautiful outboard, not just an outboard, a whole set of controls, digital gauges, propellers, even a connected app. And we also launched a new boat line called Veer, specifically to support that electrification push.
Yeah, so speaking of those small boats, the Veer boats there, the new brand there, that looking to leverage the electric propulsion of those Avator motors. So what's the story behind that new brand? How did you guys sort of come up with it?
Well, really, we were trying to think of a way to present electrification in a unique way that was relevant for the next generation of boater, if you like. So I think, electrification brings with it a set of expectations that are developed in automotive and other areas. And we wanted to make sure that as we presented our electric solutions, they were presented in a very contemporary way. And the vessel is a great vessel. It's like a kind of multi-tool, like a Swiss Army knife vessel. You can use it for fishing, for diving, for all kinds of excursions, for adventuring. So we thought it was a very contemporary way and a contemporary kind of showcase for that new Avator electric outboard brand.
So you mentioned your customers, but both existing and new. Are they sort of asking for electrification in the boating and marine activities world?
I think what they're seeing electrification emerge in other areas, and so they're interested in how it's going to develop and evolve in marine. There are very specific marine challenges around electrification. Boats tend to take more power. They're very weight sensitive. And they don't have brakes like cars. So electrifying a boat is somewhat more challenging. And I know our boats is obviously, if you think about range anxiety in a car, and then you think about range anxiety on the water, obviously it's higher. So we need to demonstrate to those boaters that this is a very high quality, safe, usable, functional solution for them. But in general, boaters are pretty tech forward. They respond well to technology. And I think that they will certainly accept this new line of Mercury electric outboards, certainly based on the incredible reputation for quality and functionality that Mercury has behind it.
So speaking of new tech, I believe at CES you guys have an autonomous sort of cockpit there for teaching people how to use autonomous boating in some sense, and it's using VR. So talk to me about that and what's been the reaction so far?
It's been an incredible reaction. Exactly right. We have a display sets up with what we call Future Helm, which is an idea of what a helm might look like maybe in 5 years' time. And around it, there's a 140-degree display. Think about an IMAX type display that's very immersive. So you can operate the boat just as you would a real boat, and then you can simulate autonomous functionality like auto docking or obstacle avoidance, those kinds of things where autonomy or augmented solutions can really help a boater. But this is, of course, not just about simulation. We have real boats in development that have those features, are able to self-dock, are able to recognize objects on the water, are able to avoid them, can assist a boater or captain in those more stressful boating situations. But of course, we can't demonstrate that physically at CES. So this demonstrator has been a wonderful way to illustrate the possibilities to the CES audience.
So Dave, we'll have to wait to see these electric boats and also autonomous boating tech, maybe on the West Side Highway by Chelsea Piers someday soon. So Dave Foulkes of Brunswick, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.